I bow to all the seekers of truth. At the very outset, we have to know that truth is what it is. We cannot change it, we cannot transform it, we cannot describe it, we cannot purchase it. It is, it has been, and it will be. I am so very happy to see so many seekers of truth in Los Angeles. So, whatever I am going to tell you today, you are not to take me for granted, nor you have to believe me blindfolded. We have had lots of problems because of this kind of blindfolded faith. But whatever I am telling you, you have to know that this is just a hypothesis I am putting for you. If it is proved, then you have to believe in it as honest people. Because it is for your benevolence, it is for the benevolence of your family, it is for the benevolence of this city, it is for the benevolence of your country, and it is for the benevolence of the whole world. It is important that now we have to think about our benevolence. We have had lots of fun, pleasures, all kinds of enterprises in our life. But what do we seek in those enterprises is joy, anand. Whatever you want to have it because you think by that you will feel satisfied and you will have joy. But it is not so. Today we want to have, say, for example, a house, all right? Then we want to have a car, all right? Then we want to have a helicopter, I think. And it goes on like that, one to another. We are never satisfied. If these desires were pure desires, we should have been satisfied when we got them. Also, economics says that in general, wants are not satiable. Now, whatever you have been told about this power which is residing in our triangular bone, called as sacrum, that means the Greeks knew it was a sacred bone. They call it sacrum. And this bone has this power within us, which is the pure desire. And what is the pure desire? That is the truth about ourselves. That you are not this body, this mind, this ego, these conditionings, these emotions, this intellect. You are not that. Because you say, my emotions, my ego. But who is this mind? So you are not that. The truth is, you are the pure spirit. The second truth is that there is an all-pervading divine power of love. this power of love does all the living work. For example, now you see beautiful flowers all over. We take them for granted. We don't even think that it's a miracle. Who runs our heart? If you ask the doctors, they'll say it's an autonomous nervous system. But who is this auto? So, all these living things are done by the divine power of love. I say to you this, you need not believe, but tonight you are going to feel it. You are going to feel it on your fingertips, this all-pervading power of divine love, which is called as Parama Chaitanya in Sanskrit language. In Quran it is called as Ruh. In the Bible it is called as the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost. And Patanjali has called it as Ritambhara Pragya, which is rather a tongue twister. So, this power exists. We see the result. We see the result that living things are happening. Now, if you go to the science, it has its own limitations. First of all, science is amoral. You can destroy Hiroshima, it's all right, it's science after all. You can do whatever you want to do because you think you have mastered the matter. But that is not our job. It's to destroy people all over the world. This idea of destruction comes because we forget that we do not know the absolute truth. First we have to know the absolute truth, then we'll know where are we, what are we doing, what we are supposed to do. You are quite aware as to what is happening in the world, especially in America, about which I am very much concerned. As you know, there are 65% people are expected to be sick within 10 years' time. It's not only a sickness of the body, but of the mind. And this destruction will one day create such a vacuum that we'll be all shocked. Why we are born as human beings and why we should be destroyed. After all, the Creator has created us with such understanding, with such love. He has evolved us to this position. And now why should we be destroyed? The reason is, we must find out why are we on this earth. We are on this earth to become the Spirit, to be a channel of God's love, and above all to enter into the kingdom of God. When I say to you, it sounds rather impractical and people can't believe it. It's a fact. It's the truth. I'm telling you that the time has come for all of you to become the Spirit. It's a special time. I call it a blossom time. They call it a last judgment. Some people call it as Kiyama. Even in Sanskrit there are words, many words to describe it. So now we have to be the Spirit, otherwise we should see with our own eyes the destruction of our fellow men and of ourselves. There's nothing in between. Either you become Spirit or all kinds of destructions will start. You've been already told about the centers that exist within you. On the medical side, we can say that they express themselves or manifest themselves as plexuses. But also they act on the left-hand side, as shown there, on our mind. So we'll take one center and I'll tell you what can happen. Of course, Sahaja Yoga is a meta-science. Whatever I'm saying, you can find out, and you will discover that whatever I'm saying is the truth. This one chakra we'll deal today, because I could feel was the problem of Los Angeles. This center that we call as Swadhisthana, the yellow colored one. It comes out of the third center, what we call the Nabhi chakra, the solar plexus. But this one, which manifests aortic plexus, moves all over your abdominal viscera and gives energy to your liver, to your pancreas, to your spleen, to your kidneys, to your intestines. One center. Another thing, important thing it does, about which I think doctors don't know, perhaps, is that it transforms energy for the use of the grey cells. The grey cells in the brain we use when we are futuristic, we think too much, read too much, when we are very mental. This energy is used, and for that this poor center has to work very hard. Today's life as it is, we see, where it is so futuristic. Not only that, but we have become really very mental people. We go on thinking. And this thinking is done by the grey cells, which require the energy. So this poor center has to work for this only work when you are a thinker. Now, it has to do other things also. So it neglects all other visceras. Please, there's a lady has left a seat for you. He can come here. He wants to come here. Let him come. There is a seat for you. Please. So all others are neglected. Now, when the liver is neglected, it is a very, very important, extremely important organ in our body. It takes out all the poison from our body as heat and pass it into blood. It cleanses through this process. But when this liver is neglected, it cannot do that work which it has to do. Then the heat starts accumulating in the liver. Such a person is quite a hot-tempered person. Very hot-tempered can be. When he tries to control the temper, he gets even worse. That's not the only thing that happens. This heat consumes all the fats, and such a person starts becoming extremely thin. He doesn't like food, he doesn't like people. His attention becomes extremely disturbed, and he thinks no end of himself. He thinks that all others are stupid fools, I am the only wisest person. If anybody thinks like that, then they should know they have a liver problem. Now, thus, a thing called ego starts growing. This is the bile color. Into the brain, crosses over, and you get a big balloon of ego. That's on one side, doesn't matter. But what happens to your body? This heat of the liver then starts rising. And when it goes to the pancreas, you develop diabetes. It's a very common disease of modern man, is diabetes. Now can you imagine, in India we have villagers, simple people. They don't think so much, you see. They earn today, eat their food, sleep off, next morning they are again up. They don't have to insure anything, they don't have to worry about it. But they take so much of sugar, sometimes 4-5 spoons, big spoons. The spoon must stand straight at right angle. Otherwise they think this is not tea at all. And they take it 3-4 cups of tea, they never get diabetes. It's a wonderful thing, you know. That you can have as much sweet as you like, you never get diabetes. Now these villagers don't think, but those who are sitting on their chair, planning, thinking of the future all the time, they definitely get diabetes. Allow. Then what happens? Then another movement of the same heat goes to spleen. And now this is even worse. Spleen is a speedometer. It keeps our speed. Supposing we have eaten our food and then we want to run, you get a pain here because it supplies red blood corpuscles for emergencies. If the spleen goes out of order with the heat as well as the kind of life we have, a very hectic life. First of all, what I see in America is really terrible because they get up late in the night, sleep late first of all, then get up late, then early in the morning they have to go to work, so they are in a hurry. They'll pull back their jeans and then I don't know, they don't eat at all, they don't even brush. Get into the car, starts brushing. And then they have their food in the car, or call it the breakfast, so-called breakfast. Here it is, all the cars are honking and you're getting late and there's a jam, this, that. This poor spleen doesn't know what to do because it's such a hectic life. It doesn't know how to cope with such a hectic person who sometimes needs this, sometimes needs that. So it becomes hectic. But then it is vulnerable to a very serious disease which we call as blood cancer, leukemia. On the contrary, if our life is a peaceful, quiet life, we nicely get up in the morning, have our bath, don't go for jogging, that's also another thing. Jogging is right-sided. Jogging is all right for people who are lethargic. You see, Indians would be better. But not for Americans. Because this is the physical as well as the mental side, right side. And suddenly you get a shock or something happens, especially the newspapers. They believe in just giving you shocks. So in the morning you read something, wow, what has happened? And you get a shock. Now you won't believe the way they are describing now the calamities in India are not so bad. I have telephoned, I have found out it's not so bad. But why the newspaper are doing? Because they love to give you shocks. And you also love them because they give you shocks, I think. So in these shocking conditions, this poor spleen of yours cannot cope. And that's how you get this horrible disease called blood cancer. I must tell you, with Sahaja Yoga, we have completely cured blood cancer, completely cured of many people. It's a fact. Without going to doctors, without going for diagnosis. Because in the diagnosis only half people die. But we know their trouble, and we know what they are suffering from. And it can be worked out. Just this Kundalini is to be raised, she goes to this center and just pacifies, enlightens it, nourishes it. And the whole thing changes. I am not telling you a cock and bull story, I really tell you. You should know that it is all happening. It's all happening today, everywhere. Then the third thing that happens is that your kidneys get coagulated and you get kidney trouble. Then you have to go for dialysis and you end up as bankrupts. I mean, they do not cure you with dialysis. No, there's no cure with dialysis. But the only thing that happens that you can become a bankrupt and then die. Then it goes to the intestines, creates problem, you never feel hungry. And whatever you may eat, you get into constipation of terrible dimension. And that leads to then hernia and all kinds of diseases. So with one center, how many things you are suffering? But that's not the end of it. Then this heat rises upward. There's a center, we call it as right heart. Here, you can see. When this center is affected, you develop asthma. Asthma is 100% curable in Sahaja Yoga. We have a doctor who got his MD, now he is in America, for curing cancer through, curing asthma through Sahaja Yoga. Absolutely curable. So with the intestines, with the kidney, there are problems which looks like people say is incurable, but no. These are the fundamentals we have. And if you have to deal with the fundamentals, then the rest of it falls into proper picture. It's like supposing now there's a tree which is sick. Now if you start treating the leaves, you can't cure. If you try to correct it through its branches, you can't cure. You have to go deep down into the roots, and the sap that rises will cure it. In the same way, these are the roots. This is the knowledge of the roots I am telling. I see Los Angeles every year is growing and growing and growing. America is growing very fast, no doubt. But when a tree of this civilization is growing so fast, we must find out about our roots. And if you do not find out about your roots, how are you going to look after this huge, big civilization you have created, which is dry, which has no nourishment? So we have to go to our roots. So another problem is that if this knowledge is coming from India, people have an objection. It should come from America or from England. Many people believe that Christ was born in England. It's impossible to say that, all right, you have science which we have learned. Now we have something. Why shouldn't you learn if it is for your good? But certainly not. I am saying that. We had poets in London, like William Blake. He has said for these days that the men of God will be born in those days and they will become divine and they will have powers to make others divine, said by an Englishman. I don't know if you read C.S. Lewis or not. Another one. So many. There was also one poet who was an Englishman who came in here and lived here. I read them and I am surprised that this is already being predicted. So, some people start thinking about it and they think, let's go to religion. Nothing wrong with religions as such, and nothing wrong with the people who have created it. But I must say, people like Jesus Christ or Mahomed Sahib were really very, very great people. Were very, very great people. And they were so much evolved. They were so much evolved that they never understood human beings, what sort of things they are dealing with. I'll give you an example. 5th chapter, Matthew, Christ has said that if your one eye does anything wrong, take it out. Otherwise, take out the other one. If your one hand does something wrong, then you cut it. Or cut both the hands. If somebody slaps you on this side, you turn the other side. I have yet to see one Christian who has cut his hands or taken out his eyes. It's impossible. He thought we were all such great. I was born myself in a Christian religion, so I was shocked. How could these people follow these rules and regulations which are beyond human beings, because they'll have to take out their eyes or they'll have to cut their hands. Then Mahomed Sahib thought that such strictness was there for men. Why not? We have something for women. So for women also he said, all right, if a woman is not moral, she should be put in the Mother Earth and should be beaten with shoes or with stones. Now imagine, what about American ladies here? It's a dangerous situation. So, then came another one was Sharia. She is actually given to the Jews by Moses when he saw they were very decadent. So he gave them this. This is in the Jeremiah, who has written clearly that he said that if you steal something, your hand should be cut. All the Sharia was given to Jews, but Jews were wise. They say, Baba, we can't do this. No. So the Muslims have taken over and they are putting on their people. I have yet to come across one Muslim who can be called as a real Muslim, or one Christian who can be called as a real Christian. It's none of their mistakes after all. They are human beings and these laws and regulations are for saints. If the saints do anything wrong, then they should be. Not for ordinary human beings is too much. But to us, religion now has become a matter of fighting. And then you see people, they go on distributing now. The other day a fellow came with a Gita to me. Walked into, you must buy this Gita. I said, I have many already in the house. But I said, why are you wearing this dhoti here? Chicago is a very cold place, you should not wear this dhoti. He said, my guru has initiated that I must wear a dhoti. I said, do you think by wearing a dhoti, you will go to heaven? In India, everybody wears a dhoti. Will they all go to heaven? Try to understand. Now, shaven his head completely. I said, why do you shave your head? He said, that's what my guru has told me, that if I have to be spiritual, I must shave my head. Kabira has said that if by shaving your head, if you can go to heaven, then the sheep is shaven every year. There won't be any place for you there. All the saints who were real saints were full of fun about all these things. And they could see that this is all stupidity. The way people are trying to create this kind of fanaticism is all stupidity. It is then we feel disappointed. Same about Hindus. Hindus, it is said that in every human being there is a spirit. Everybody has the spirit in the heart. Then how can you have caste system? How can you have a higher race and a lower race? There are so many examples to show. For example, Sri Rama ate the fruits from an old lady who had eaten them before to see that they are not sour. In India, if somebody eats something, you will never eat that. But look at Shri Ram. And then he tells his wife, oh, what fruits? I have never eaten like this. But the brother was angry. So brother says, why should she give you such fruits? It's not proper. So the wife says, please give me some. After all, I am your wife. Then she eats something and says, wow, what fruits? Now the brother Lakshmana says, sister-in-law, give me also a little bit. Says, no. You were so angry, I will not give you. The whole story shows the love, the compassion, the oneness because of love. Krishna also had food with a person called Vidura who was a son of a maid servant. He wouldn't go with the king and eat food, but he would go and eat with this. Now why? Because he was a realized soul, Vidura was. Every story of Christ or anything you see is nothing but love. But if you are bent upon taking something, like Christ went to a wedding and he made wine out of water. That's the simple thing. Now, I can also do that, not difficult. But that's not the wine. That is the taste of grape juice. For wine, it has to rot. Instantaneously, who can make wine? How can you make wine just by touching water? You cannot. It has to rot. The more rotten it is, the better it is, they say. I've never tasted, so I don't know. But it smells horrible, I can tell you this much. Now, so we don't know what to do because we go to religion, there we find fanaticism, we find people fighting in the name of God, making big money out of, I don't know, but I read a book about where it said the Vatican printed $9 million as counterfeits and distributed through their own bank. how could any religious man think of doing these things? I can't understand. First of all, they have to be holy people. They have to be righteous people. If they have interest in your purses, then how can they be holy men? God doesn't understand money. It's your headache. Banking is your headache. How can you purchase God with money? So, I appeal to your intelligence, to your wisdom, to know that this your American country has fed so many false gurus so far without even thinking what they are doing, without even finding that they are just making money, they are marketing some nonsense. That's another problem. When I came here first, nobody would listen to me. I said, why? Because you don't take money, so what is the credibility? They can't understand anything without money. All right, doesn't matter. Now the situation seems to be better. But the last thing that happens to you is, very serious thing with this Swadhisthana chakra, is that you get a heart attack, a massive heart attack. Especially if you are young and you are playing, say, tennis, and you are drinking too much, you get a heart attack which is very massive and which is always fatal. Anjana is different. But this massive heart attack comes from this right side problem. Then this heat rises into the head. And what happens? You get paralysis of the right side. Minimum. There are so many diseases out of one center you get. Then you go to some guru. He puts something into your head, I don't know what they do. Then you get cancers. You get incurable diseases. You get insomnia. All kinds of things you get, and ultimately you realize you have gone mad. I don't know. A madman doesn't understand he's mad, but others know. But wisdom should be there. When you choose a guru, you must know anybody who wants money for spiritual work cannot be a holy person. Cannot. So at this juncture, you have to know that when this Kundalini rises, first thing that happens to us, that our innocence starts manifesting. Innocence is eternal. It is not temporary. It is eternal. Whatever you may try to destroy it, it is there. And it starts manifesting. And then your eyes become innocent, absolutely innocent and very powerful. And there's a glint of the spirituality in your eyes. Such eyes are so powerful that even a glance of such a person can settle down thousands. With these innocent eyes, you understand that your attention has lost lust and greed completely. And you have become a very moral person, very righteous. Nobody has to tell you, don't do this, don't do that. No. Just it happens. Now how? It's like this. If I have a snake in my hand and I'm a very obstinate person, and you tell me there's a snake in your hand, please leave it, I'll say no. It's no snake. It's a rope. Till it bites me, I'll go on saying it's a rope. But if there is little light, I'll throw it away. I'll know this is wrong. As a result of this happening, whatever is destroying within you, you may think it should be given up. You may not be knowing also that it is destructive, but you just drop it out. Overnight, I must tell you, I have known people who have dropped drug addiction. here such a problem exists of drug addiction and can be completely cured with surgery. I can assure. If this Kundalini rises, then not only drug addiction but any kind of addiction drops out. Then you know all about your centers on your fingertips. You know what's wrong with you on your fingertips. With this light, you know where lies your problem. This is self-knowledge. On your fingertips means on your central nervous system. In Sanskrit the word is bodha, from where the Buddha word has come, or also is vida, from the Veda word has come. You have to know the truth, not mentally, but on your central nervous system, on your fingertips. So you know the absolute truth. Now, there are many who came to me who never believed in God, atheists they call themselves, especially in Russia. I say Russians. But they took no time to get their realization. They are such a clean slate, I tell you. They have no conditionings, nothing. And you won't believe that we always have our program in stadiums. We cannot have in halls, because at least 16,000 to 18,000 people in one place. What has happened with them? Why is it they are so sensitive? They have thrown away all false gurus one by one. They are not bothered. After all, at least I must say 60% people in Russia are so sensitive to spirituality. Very sensitive. Most amazing thing is that they jump into it without any difficulty. I don't know how they trust me so much. But they do trust themselves first, and then do trust that they have got self-realization. I don't know if you have told them or not, that recently they had a conference of 2,000 scientists. Their scientists are very highly qualified people, where they invited me to speak to them. In the conference, I was the chief speaker. And I was amazed. There were also 10,000 other people. The subject matter they gave me, medicine and self-knowledge. They all talked about morality, how important it is to preserve the society, to preserve the families, to preserve the whole society. And they were such great surgeons. There was one surgeon, 90-year-old, who had operated on our Prime Minister Indira Gandhi, who is still operating, is 90 years, and the way he speaks, you won't make out that he is that of that age. And he has written a book against alcoholism and immorality. I can't think such a subject can ever be talked about here, where your Hollywood is so important. What harm they have done to you, you don't know. First of all, Mr. Freud, who just was worshipped like Christ, and he has ruined the people and brought them to the sex point only. He is from Austria, and when I told this in Austria, they were very happy, they clapped. They said, it brought such shame to us. But here, he was worshipped. And now the whole country has been so much degraded by him. Now I read the book, Fraudulent Freud. There's another book, Downfall of the Freudian Empire. But with that, how many have suffered? What has happened? Families broken. What nonsense he talked about the mother, that your relationship with mother is of a sexual nature. God knows, he must be having something like that. I told this to an Indian, he said, thank God he didn't come to India, otherwise we would have cut him into pieces and thrown him into Arabic Sea. How could you accept such an unwise, nonsensical thing? Well, you did. And so many people who thought it was big experimentation, this, that. It is absolutely a myth, I tell you. If you come to Sahaja Yoga, you will know what is the psyche, how it gets affected, where it is, how it works out. The real knowledge about psychology you will know. This is psychology or is it child science? I don't understand. It has nothing to do with reality. Everything imaginary. Jung was the one who got realization, and he did say that Freud was wrong. He was the one who said it and who talked of morality. But I must tell you one story about myself. They invited me to a conference of the Jungians. It was International Jungians Conference. Me, poor thing, was supposed to talk about Jung, and I told them where did Jung went wrong. Because he said the consciousness is vertical. No, he said it is horizontal, which is not so. And that was the biggest mistake. But whatever it is, he talked of morality. But next day the president, now he's no more, so I can tell you the story, came to see me, 85-year-old, shaking, he came to me. He said, I have some private work. I said, what is it? I have a keep. Because I was a Catholic, I could not marry her. But now my wife is dead. Can you help me to cajole this keep of mine to tell her that she should now marry me? What's the age of your fiancé or whatever you may call? Only about 38 years. Huh? I said, do you think I am supposed to do all such work? Now this is a Jungian who is talking like this. If it was Freudian, I could have understood. I was shocked. And to come to me for this kind of a nonsense. I said, I don't know what's wrong with these people. They can't even understand that spirituality is holiness, auspiciousness, is purity. Can't understand how he came to ask me this question. I was so disappointed that 9 years I didn't visit your country. I said, how can I talk to them? Today I have to tell you one thing. The time has come for all of you to get your self-realization, by which your attention becomes enlightened, your health gets completely all right, your mental processes are sensible, but above all, you stand in your present. We live in the past or the future, and all the time we are thinking past and future. We are jumping on the cusp of past and future. With this happening, you become thoughtlessly aware, because these thoughts elongate. Thoughtlessly but aware. And this thoughtless awareness is the time which is reality in which you grow spiritually. Then you get your inspirations. All your potential qualities starts manifesting. You'll be amazed, in India we have had many great writers, very great, we should say, poets, very great musicians who are now world famous. All of them came to Sahaja Yoga. They were nothing. Even Miss India, that was this time Miss Universe, she is a Sahaja Yogini. And she came to me, she said, Mother, is it all right if I go for this beauty contest? I said, what's wrong? You go. I don't want to wear funny dresses. I said, but you wear, after all, swimming dress. It's all. She was not such a beautiful girl. She asked me, Mother, I'm going just now for Miss India. I said, you will be also Miss Universe. Take it from me. She became. Because what is the speciality? It's not only the face, it's not only the features or anything, but it is the inner beauty. It's the balance, it's the poise, it's the wisdom. All these things put together make a personality. Not only just your face, how you look, that's not important. See, look at Mahatma Gandhi, how he looked like. I don't know, I have seen him, I mean with him, with child. Such a bony structure, but even Samson would have been afraid of him, he was like that. Such a power of truth and honesty in his heart. It's not that his face was very impressive, but the inner power which was within him. I know of another Prime Minister very well, Lal Bahadur Shastri. I am talking about him because both were born on the same date of 2nd of October. Another person, tremendously powerful, very short man. So powerful he was. And his realization of such a high degree, he could easily make out who is who. Of course, he respected me very much. I used to be very shy because he would not even sit before me on the chair. All these things are such that we have to know that something is still to be done to us, and that is what we call self-realization. In Sanskrit, an egg is called as Dvijaha. The bird is called as Dvijaha. And a human being, when he is realized, also called as Dvijaha, means born twice. So first it's an egg, then it becomes a bird. They are two different things. In the same way, first we are human being, then we are realized souls. This is the new age, this is the new race which has to come. It's nothing, just put a brand here, one like any other, twice born. What is so? Like any other person you are behaving, why? What is twice born? Or I am a Christian and a Hindu and a Muslim or anything. It's just a brand. Because anybody can commit any murder, any sin, anything. So this transformation is your responsibility. You have to take to this transformation. You have to change people. If you have to save your country, now learn this, that you can do it. You can easily do it. It's very simple because it's all built in within you. Now what do we do? Just put a seed in the Mother Earth and it sprouts by itself. How? Because the seed has a built-in quality to sprout and the mother has a built-in quality to make it sprout. In the same way, you all have this power. This glory is within you. Just it has to happen. It sprouts and then you have to grow. I don't know how people trust me so much. I'm an Indian after all. I could be an immigrant or what is it? I could be anything. But they trust me somehow. But later on, they do not trust themselves and they do not grow. This is a very sad thing. Not in Russia, I must tell you. Not in Russia. There's a joke. We had a seminar of thousands of people in Russia, and there was one American Sahajogi and a Russian Sahajogi asked him, how many do you have Sahajogis in America? So he said, to be precise, it is 56. So this Sahajogi from Taliati says, oh my God, you have 56,000? We have only 21,000 here in Taliyati. They can't understand. They think Americans are very bright, very smart people. There must be at least 56,000. Americans are known to be very intelligent, very smart. So they are taking to Coca-Cola culture now. Russians, 40%. Because they think Americans, after all, they take Coca-Cola, they go to McDonald's. They are very smart people. They are ruling all over the world. And all your junk which doesn't sell here goes there, and they are really trying to look like Americans, Whatever it is. Why I'm trying to say this is the whole world is looking at you. They follow you. This Hollywood doesn't understand its own responsibility. The whole world is following you. And the way they speak also, English is very surprising. It's just like American English. I take about 2 days to understand that. But now in Russia they are speaking the same English as you speak, and it's a difficult situation. So you have to understand the second responsibility, that as citizens of this great country, you have to lead the whole world into righteousness, into morality, into constructive, beautiful life. You have to enter into the kingdom of God and settle there. Whatever may be your race, whatever may be your religion or all these nonsensical differences. But it's very important, and you will be surprised, the first country I visited was America. I would say first I went to Iran because my brother was there. But after that I came to America. And I was surprised. How do they take to falsehoods so? Even Indians who come here become stupid. I don't know. Really. You won't believe this gentleman who is organizing the marriage of Rama and Sita. I mean, they were married long time back, but he's organizing in every place. Los Angeles, one marriage, one in New York, one in Philadelphia, all like that he's organizing. And here, there were 10,000 people who attended that wedding. The boy, means Rama, was 10-year-old and the girl was 8-year-old. So this kind of nonsense, even Indians, they would not do this in India, no. Everybody laugh at them. Another example, if I give, you will be shocked. There's a lady, Maharani of Dhangendra. She's another mad woman, she has lost her husband. So she has got one man, she dressed him up as a lady, and she calls him as the goddess. She worships. I was shocked at the whole thing that they are doing. So I said, but you don't have anybody who follows you. No, we have many in Los Angeles. Can you imagine? There is another one now who makes the pendulum move. The people who are lynched by him, I met them in Washington. They told me, Mother, we have sold out our houses, now we don't know what to do, we have taken out our children from good schools, we have no money. So why? There was this gentleman from the TM, Pradeep Chopra is the name. Pradeep, to have such a nice name, I don't know who gave him this name, what her mother must have thought. So he said that now I can control the mind of others, I'll teach you how. So he calls somebody, stand here, and he gives him a pendulum in his hand. Now he said, see, now he'll move the pendulum. He moves the pendulum. And people have given up their houses, this, that, to this man. So I said, how can you come and tell me this now? Have you come on this earth to move the pendulums? Having this kind of stupidity, can't understand. Then they said, you can levitate 3 or 4 feet like this. Already you have jams on the road. Why do you want to have such people moving there 3 feet? It's such stupid they accept such stupid things. But the fellow of TM, the one who was their very big master, he got epilepsy, so he came to me. By that time he had become bankrupt. He told me, I went to America and my guru told me, your money is so much involved, so you have to tell them I came without any visa, without any passport. His name is Peter Pierce. And you have to tell them I can walk into the wall, through the wall. Then I said, I told them and they all believed. They all believed you, yes. Professors, mathematicians, everybody believed you, yes. How can you believe such nonsensical things? There is a saying by Guru Nanaka, Sadguru Vahi Jo Sahib Mili Hai. The one who is the real master is the one who makes you meet God, who makes you divine. And this is what you should expect. It looks difficult, it's the easiest thing to be divine. You don't have to jump, you don't have to waste money, nothing of the kind. It's all built in within you. Just have your awakening and enjoy. You don't have to do anything like running away from your homes, going to Himalayas, standing on your... Nothing needed. No austerities. You are already ready for it. You have done all this in your last lives. Now please don't do all these things. You just get your self-realization. So you become collectively conscious. You can feel on your fingertips vibrations of another person, whether dead, living, or historical, whatever it is. You can know. You know the absolute truth on your fingertips. But above all, because you become collectively conscious. That is, a microcosm becomes the macrocosm. Because a drop becomes the ocean. Who is the other? You become the part and parcel of one. So when it happens to you, it is very amazing how you realize what powers you have. You can give realization to people, you can cure them, you can enjoy yourself, you never get bored. So many powers you have, which starts expressing. And when they start expressing, you are amazed at yourself. This is what you must expect. And not moving off a pendulum. I am sure today I am not talking to stupid people. Saj Yoga is not meant for idiotic people, I must say. The kind of idiocy that has come, I can't understand, because I used to worship Abraham Lincoln, used to worship. And he gave us such a great thing like democracy. And how can this democracy be a democracy? There are seekers, but misled. Above all that happens to you, the highest, is that you jump into the ocean of joy. You just become joy. Joy is singular. Happiness and unhappiness are the two sides of one coin. But joy is singular, that you become the witness, the whole thing like a drama. It's fun. And you get out of your problems, and that's how you know how to solve them. And above all, the bliss is there to help you. You will be amazed how things work out. Meticulously in every way, even money-wise. There was a girl, lady from Toronto, she wanted to travel with me, come here, she's very good. But she thought she hasn't got sufficient money. And next day she got a check of $4,000 because she had paid some money somewhere long time back. This is just a very, very minimum. But The greatest thing is that you become your own master. You know what chakras are there, you know what you are doing, you know everything. It is not just like standing and moving a pendulum nonsense, but it is you know what's wrong with anyone. Then you don't talk about his face, about his dress, how he walks, but you talk about his centers. What centers are there? And you can cure them. All this is your own. Last of all, I have to tell you, this Kundalini is the power of pure desire, and she is your individual mother. She knows everything about you. It's all tape recorded. So you don't have to start judging yourself. She knows. And she's anxious to give you self-realization. She takes up all the trouble on herself and gives you this beautiful thing, which we call as self-realization. And then you realize that you are endowed with the power of divine love. You become extremely dynamic. At the same time, you are extremely compassionate. You enjoy your virtues. You enjoy your love. You enjoy others. You enjoy everyone. Such a state is not difficult. Only thing you must understand that you are here to become the Spirit. In this time, I've tried to say whatever is possible. I'm going tonight to New York. They always put me like a shuttlecock from one place to another. So I have to go. But I'm very happy I saw so many of you here. I hope you will be all responsible and will look after your realization. Now I would request you that it cannot be forceful. It cannot be. Because I respect your freedom. You have freedom. This is last judgment. If you want to go to heaven, you are welcome. If you want to go to hell, you are welcome. I cannot force on you. So those who do not want to come for this or do not want to have it, I cannot force. So I would request you, those who do not want to have can leave the hall. Would be better for others. And those who want to have it are welcome, and I am sure you all will have it. No doubt about it. No doubt. It will take hardly 10 minutes for you to get your realization. 10 minutes. But you have to be little patient, and you have to also know that it is your pure desire that is going to give you. Just your pure desire. I have already told you that Kundalini knows everything about you and you don't have to judge yourself. So, there are 3 conditions, very simple. Very, very simple. The first one is that you are not to feel guilty at all. Your Kundalini knows everything. Why should you feel? Leave it to her. You don't judge yourself, and please don't feel guilty. You don't know, if you feel guilty, this center here catches. And if this center goes out of order, you develop angina, which is a horrible disease of the heart. You develop spondylitis and also lethargic organs only by this center of yours, and it is always there when you feel guilty. If you have done anything wrong in the past, you should have dealt with it that time. What's the use of carrying it here all the time? Also, it's conditioning. For small things, people start feeling guilty. Especially with this Catholic Church, Christian churches. You have to know that we are sinners. We are not. We are human beings. And human beings can commit mistakes. You are not gods. And at this juncture, if you have guilt, how will the Kundalini rise? If you are really guilty, you would have been in jail, isn't it? I don't know with this law here, if people can go to jail even if they have done something wrong, I have no idea. Somehow or other, I am very apprehensive about the LA laws. They say so. It's very funny. All right, whatever it is. Now, God's law are extremely pure, and He loves you. He doesn't want you to put you into any trouble. He loves you and loves you very much, and He wants you to enter into His kingdom to enjoy it. Now you're just ready to get it. Right? So the first condition is that you are not to feel guilty at all. I assure you, you have done nothing wrong. Is it possible to forgive yourself? Thank you. The second condition is even easier, if you understand. Logically, the second condition is that you have to forgive everyone, even without thinking about them. Just to say, I forgive every one of them. Finished. It's very difficult. But logically, I'll tell you. Whether you forgive or don't forgive, what do? Do nothing. But if you don't forgive, then you play into wrong hands and torture yourself. While the person who has tortured you is very happy. You go on torturing yourself because you can't forgive. So just you have to say, I forgive everyone. Don't think about them also, because that will give you a headache. Best is to forgive everyone. Once you forgive, then the divine takes over and works it out. So now, please forgive everyone. Is there any problem? All right. The third condition is very simple, is that you have to take out your shoes. That's all. You won't believe. In London, first time I said, take out your shoes, half of them walked out. It's difficult. All right. So, first of all, we'll show you what we have to do to nourish our centers. Only for tonight. Only for tonight. You don't have to do it. Later on, as I told you, that our centers are here, and all this is happening in a collective way. It's not single person doing something at home. So you have to go there. They'll give you every instruction, everything, every book, whatever you want, free, absolutely free. But you must desire to grow, and it will work out. Some people get it immediately in such a big way, and then they think they are on top of the world. But no. You have to grow, and you have to know everything about yourself. You have to know about Sahaja Yoga completely, in a full way. You have to be a master. And I tell you, hardly takes 1 month to be. You people are very intelligent and everything. Just put your attention, it will work out. All right. So now we have to put our left hand on our lap. Just. नीचे रख दीजिए, यहाँ रख. Can keep it. Just now. Left hand on your left lap, comfortably. We are not to go to Himalayas, do anything of the kind. We have to be comfortable. That's one thing. Here, sitting down, you will get your realization. Left hand towards the photograph. We put here because they have objection for that. But now you put towards me. Left hand towards me. Which is symbolically saying that you want your self-realization. Because the left side is the power of desire, mundane desire. So you are desirous, so you are putting the hand towards me, left hand. That's all. Now with the right hand, we have to nourish our centers on the left hand side. Now they will show you how to do. First we put our right hand on the heart. In the heart resides the spirit, which is the reflection of God Almighty. If you become the spirit, then you become your own master. So you take your hand on the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side, and this is the center of your mastery, which is created by all the prophets. You will know about it, everything. Everything will be told to you. You have to put both your feet apart from each other because these are also two powers on left and right. Now, please take your hand in the low portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. This is the center for pure divine knowledge. Don't get disturbed with this, it's very simple. It's the center for the pure divine knowledge to work out. Now you take your hand back, the upper portion of your abdomen, press it, which is the center of mastery. Now please take your right hand on top of your heart, which is the center of the pure spirit. Now please take your right hand in the corner of your neck and shoulder and turn your head to your right. Now this is the center I told you about, that when you feel guilty, this goes out of order. And at this juncture, you must keep the center open by not feeling guilty at all. Now you raise your right hand on top of your forehead across and put down your head. This is the center where you have to forgive everyone. This center is extremely constricted, and if you don't forgive, it won't open. All your life you've tortured yourself, and if you don't forgive now, you'll have to miss this great opportunity of getting your self-realization. Now, take back your right hand on the back side of your head and push back your head. Here, without feeling guilty, without counting your mistakes, just for your satisfaction, you have to ask forgiveness from the all-pervading divine power of love. That we'll do later after closing eyes, but I'm just telling you how to do it. Now, stretch your palm. This is the last center, very important. Stretch your palm and put the center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area. Now, please put down your head. They forget this. Please put down your head and push back your fingers as far as possible. Just push back. So there's a good pressure on the scalp. Now, please move your hand in such a way that the scalp moves clockwise 7 times. Do it very slowly. Put down your head. Put down your heads. Please put down your heads. You must put down your head, otherwise it doesn't work out better. Put down your head. Now, push back your fingers. Pushing back your fingers is important. Push back your fingers outward so that there's a pressure on the scalp. Now move it slowly 7 times. clockwise. Don't hold your head. Push back your fingers. Please push back your ring. That's it. That's all we have to do. Now, again we put our feet apart from each other. Put the left hand on your left lap. And put the right hand on the heart. Now please close your eyes. And please don't open them till I tell you. You can take out your spectacles if you like. Now, when you put your hand on your heart, you have to ask me a question, very fundamental question about yourself. You can call me Mother or Shri Mataji. Here you please ask me a question in your heart 3 times. Mother, am I the spirit? Ask this question 3 times in your heart. I have told you that if you become the spirit, you become your own master. So please take your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side and press it hard, and here you have to ask another fundamental question about yourself. 3 times, please ask in your heart, Mother, am I my own master? Mother, am I my own master? I have told you that I respect your freedom. So I cannot force pure divine knowledge on you. You have to ask for it. So please take your right hand in the low portion of your abdomen on the left hand side. And here you have to say 6 times, because this center has got 6 petals. You have to ask. Please ask 6 times. Mother, please give me pure divine knowledge. As soon as you ask for pure divine knowledge, Kundalini starts rising upward. So we have to nourish our upper centers with our full self-confidence. So now please raise your right hand in the upper portion of your abdomen on the left hand side, and here you have to say 10 times, Mother, I am my own master. Please say 10 times, Mother, I am my own master. At the very outset, I told you that you are not this body, this mind, these emotions, this intellect, these conditionings, this ego, but you are the pure spirit. So now raise your right hand on top of your heart, and here please say 12 times with full self-confidence, Mother, I am the pure spirit. Mother, I am the pure spirit. This all-pervading path of divine love is the ocean of knowledge. It is the ocean of blessings. It is the ocean of compassion. But above all, it is the ocean of forgiveness. And whatever mistakes you might commit will be completely dissolved by the power of this ocean of forgiveness. So please forgive yourself and put your right hand in the corner of your neck and your shoulder and turn your head to your right. Here is I am not guilty at all. Say it with full self-confidence. 16 times, Mother, I am not guilty at all. I have already told you, whether you forgive or don't forgive, you don't do anything. But if you don't forgive, then you play into wrong hands and torture yourself. Especially at this time, if you do not forgive, this center of Agya won't open and the Kundalini won't be able to break through. So I request you again and again, just forgive everyone. So now raise your right hand on top of your forehead across and please put down your head. Here you have to say, from your heart, not how many times. Mother, I forgive everyone in general. Please say it from your heart. Now, without feeling guilty, without counting mistakes, just for your satisfaction, you have to ask forgiveness from the all-pervading divine power. So please take your right hand, backside of your head, and push back your head as far as possible. Here now, you have to say again from the heart, not how many times. O divine power, if I have done anything wrong, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. O divine power, if I have done anything wrong, knowingly or unknowingly, please forgive me. Now the last center, please stretch your palm fully. Now carefully put the center of your palm on top of the fontanelle bone area, which was a soft bone in your childhood. Now please bend your head as much as you can. Now remember to stretch back your fingers so there is a good pressure on your scalp. Here again, I respect your freedom. I cannot force self-realization on you. So you have to say 7 times, moving the scalp. 7 times you have to say, Mother, please give me my self-realization. Mother, please give me my self-realization. Now move the scalp 7 times clockwise slowly. Now please take down your hand. Open your eyes. Slowly. Now please put both the hands towards me like this. And try not to think. Now bend your head and see with your left hand, right hand towards me, the left hand, you feel if there is hot or a cold breeze like vibrations coming out of your fontanelle bone area. Please put down your head. Now, please don't put the hand on top but little away. Some people get it further away. So please move your hand and see for yourself if there's a cool or hot breeze like vibrations coming out of your fontanelle bone area. Now if they are not coming, you should say, Mother, please come through my head. Mother, please come through my head. Please say it thrice. Now, please put the left hand like this. And with the right hand, try to see if there's a cool breeze or a hot breeze like vibration coming from your fontanelle bone area. Now, if you have not forgiven you, or if you are not yourself, or if you are not forgiven others, it will be hot. But now try to forgive. Forgive yourself and forgive others. It will cool down. I am sure it will cool down. Now, once more only, please put your right hand towards me and again put down the head, and with the left hand please try to see if there's a cool or hot breeze like vibrations coming out of your fontanelle bone area. This is the actualization of baptism. This is what is the Brahmarandra Veda that they call it. Now, it's done. Don't doubt. Now, please raise both the hands towards the sky and push back your head. And ask any one of these questions, 3 questions, 3 times. First one is, Mother, is this the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost? Or you can ask, Mother, is this the all-pervading power of divine love? Or you can ask, Mother, is this the Parama Chaitanya or Ruh? Ask any one of these questions 3 times. Now take down your hands. Such cool is coming from you to me now. Now don't doubt that is air conditioning, nothing is not. Air conditioning not in your head, it's coming out of your head. So don't doubt yourself. All those who have felt cool breeze or hot breeze on your fingertips, on your palms, or through your fontanelle bone area, please raise both your hands. All Americans have got it. I bow to you, all saints, I bow to you. You didn't feel, sir, what's the matter with you? Didn't feel it? The cool breeze? No? You're the only person, why? Just put your hands, it will work out. Just put both the feet apart from you. Now? Are you a doctor? Anybody can see that. It's all right. Now, all those who have not felt, are there any? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I would say such people should come on one side, and it can be done. No problem. You can withdraw. But you have to give me leave because I have to catch the plane. Very happy to meet you all, and I hope all of you will really pay attention to your self-realization, respect it, and grow. I should find you back when I come next year as great saints. May God bless you all.